Chippewas of Nawash, now known as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, as the traditional keepers of this land. We honor them for having lived here and cared for this land from time immemorial. We appreciate the opportunity to live, work, and play in this beautiful place.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and J.D. MacArthur Arena here in lovely Owen Sound, Ontario, as the Six Nations Rebels are visiting the Owen Sound North Stars. Both teams are making their way out onto the floor here this wonderful afternoon. We'll take a quick look here at the standings. You can see St. Catharines Athletics already coming here to the Scenic City earlier in the year. Well on their way to first place in this division with 31 points. They've played 17 games and won 15 of them. Hamilton Bengals. Hamilton will be actually playing host to the Senior B team, not the Junior B team, this afternoon as well. With 16 games played, they've won 11, lost 5 for 22 points. And the Six Nations Rebels finding themselves in third place there with 17 games played. They've got a 9-8 record, so just a little bit above 500 for 18 points. And Welland, of course, sitting down there 1-14, not doing so well. The Owen Sound North Stars just below 500. They'll be looking to set the record straight here and jump back up to 500 and also drop the Six Nations Rebels down to a 500 record. We're going to throw it to the floor, and we'll be right back after the national anthem.
That you please rise and sing along to our national anthem, O Canada.
O Canada done. The North Stars ready to take on this challenge in the Six Nations Rebels. We'll take a look here at the Midwest standings. The Elora Mohawks, pretty solid there in first place, 29 points, 14 wins, 2-1. The Owen Sound North Stars, they are down there at the bottom, tied in fact with the Guelph Regals. 2 less games played than Guelph, so could easily take over that third pairing spot all by themselves. And they're sitting 8-7. The Six Nations Rebels sitting 9-8 with 2 extra games played as well. So the Owen Sound North Stars will be looking to jump that record up, gain an extra 2 points here against the Six Nations Rebels. I'm Nick Kennedy, joined here with Steve McCarthy in the press box at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. J.D. MacArthur Arena as both teams here get set to face off. We've got a few notable scratches today for the North Stars. Talon Brown, number 4, often doing the face-offs. He is not here today. Wes Grant also away, a crucial player on the transition play. And no Cole Hutchison, getting quite a bit more floor time here. So number 21, Elliot Thompson, also very strong player in the dot. He's going to line up here against number 22, Trace Hill. And the North Stars are going to come away with that. Starting in net for the North Stars is Nick Sanderson. So we'll hope that his ankle's feeling a little bit better. Miles Plater getting quite a few of the last starts. And standing quite strong for the Junior Bees. Junior Bees having a really good weekend last year, picking up 4 points. Lone Wicken sends that over. Morrison in for Laycock, hard shot, doesn't get that one to go. And now the Rebels will carry this up the floor as they try to hit a streaking Tristan Garlow. And Sanderson's gonna play that with ease all the way up there to number 3 and your captain, Carter Moran. Carter's gonna carry this into the offensive zone, throws that across the floor. Arnold in front, can't get that one to go. Good save there by Six Nations. Starting in net for the Six Nations Rebels, number 30, Ryder Johnson. Right out in front here, shot scores! Six Nations opens the scoring, a hard shot there by number 7, Joe Squire, a returning player here for the Six Nations Rebels.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a bit of a tough angle there that, again, Nick Sanderson may want to have back, but we'll probably get a look on the replay to see how much room he actually had. It looked like it might have sneaked in short side. Didn't catch much there, but nonetheless, quick strike by Six Nations, and they can be potent, although they're certainly missing a lot of the firepower they had last season.
Absolutely. Jonah Kerr back on the floor for the North Stars, spending a little bit of time out on injury. Now the North Stars looking to attack. Tyson Morrison can't find a lane to the net. He's going to throw that up for Laycock. Back across the floor. Hard low shot there by Jordan Cochran. Can't get that to go. Good 5-hole save by Ryder Johnson as he gets that big goalie stick down. Now on the move is Trace Hill. He throws that into Nick Sanderson. Good glove save.
Again, this Six Nations has a real strong transition game, so that we've already seen 1 goal as a result and 1 near goal there, so they're going to want to be Owen Sound's really going to want to make sure they get their changes done quickly and be set on defense.
Trey Miller cutting to the net, passes that across, hard shot right off the mask of Nick Sanderson. That gets knocked off into the corner. Back up high for Trey Miller. Miller sends that low, cut off there by Owen Sound. Now Gavin Downs with it. He's got help, he's got Carter Moran. It's going to be a 2-on-1. Gavin Downs, shot just off the shoulder there as Johnson's able to make that save. The North Stars picking up the rebound, which is fantastic for them. They'll get another shot with a fresh 20. Thompson sends that low for Moran. Moran doesn't find a lane. Passes that across the floor. And we're going to get a possession call here going against the North Stars. So Six Nations will pick that up. North Stars still trying to find a lane in towards Ryder Johnson to really test him. Good battle there as Rowan Smith tries to get past Jonah Kerr. Leighton McDonald twisting, turning. That gets passed up high, long shot off the shoulder of Nick Sanderson. Sanderson being tested early by that shot from Dalen Burning. Up the floor, Nate Laycock can't quite handle that. Rebound in front, hard shot. And Jonah Kerr can't get that one to go. We're going to get a foot in the crease call, and now it's going to be sent up the floor here by the Six Nations Rebels. Will Rowe with it. Will Rowe getting battled along the boards. Will Rowe knocked down there by Calvin Stewart and Owen Pryor. Owen Pryor's going to pick this up, and he's going to run it up the floor. He's going to have to slow things down and take a little bit of time unless he can get around his man. Doesn't quite. And he's going to back out, sends that pass up high. Jordan Cochran. That one gets knocked loose. Trace Hill can't get it. Owen Sound gets to it first. Carter Moran still with the ball. He's going to take some time here as they've got 10 seconds left on the shot clock. He's going to wait till the rest of his team comes out. Moran back with it. Hard shot caught in the armpit there by number 30, Ryder Johnson. Good save by the Six Nations Rebels.
Yeah, Owen Sound's going to want to take their time in transition. You just seen there where they almost forced a shot, put a pass into a player that was in a bit of a tough spot, and they ended up really not setting up until 10 seconds left in the possession, and it settled again for a perimeter opportunity.
Long wide shot there. That's going to bounce off the boards and into the Owen Sound North Stars bench. So the North Stars will gain possession of the ball here. And they're going to hand that one off to Carter Moran. Carter Moran has some options out there. He's going to send that low for Curtis Arnold. Tries to cut to the net. Curtis Arnold on the floor at home for, I believe, the first time this season for the North Stars. Jonah Kerr, he's got room. He gets around one. In tight, can't get that shot away. He's going to have to circle back. Right out in front, Laycock. That shot goes wide. Good attempt there by the Owen Sound North Stars. Picked up now by Tyson Morrison. Morrison gets around one. Sends that one in low. Can't quite get that one to go. And Thompson's going to have to leave that as the Six Nations Rebels pick this one up. Jack Bureau is going to start with the ball for the Rebels. Bureau around one. Good pick there by Trey Miller. Bureau into the attacking zone. Rebels with it. Miller, shot, saved. Shot again. Good save there, Nick Sanderson off that shot by Wilrow. Calvin Stewart has to circle back there for the North Stars, waits for the rest of his team. And he's going to send that pass in. Good call there as Jonah Kerr directs traffic. Now Jordan Cochran, he sends that across. Curtis Arnold can't handle that pass. Now it's knocked out by the goalie, and the Rebels battling for this loose ball, eventually picking it up, and they'll reset the clock. Now they can head up the floor. Damon DeCare. DeCare able to get around and knock loose there by number 18, Jackson Ray. Ray sends that up the floor, picks up by Carter Moran, and he's going to send that over for Thompson. Thompson back to Moran. Moran's going to slow things down. He's going to send that up high. Jonah Kerr down for Moran. Moran across the floor, Laycock. No orange stick for Laycock today, but gets in tight anyways. Can't get that shot away. Hard shot from a close angle, scores!
Well, you know, a desperation shot there from a real bad angle by Jordan Cochran, I believe. Although it
might be Elliot Thompson.
Actually, Elliot Thompson, sorry, another big body lefty, and they've been rewarded. Again, their offense has not been in sync so far. Nothing inside whatsoever. Laycock tried to get to the net and drop the ball. But again, to be successful, like we say now and forever, they're going to need to start penetrating inside, not relying on perimeter or desperation stuff. To be successful against a really strong opponent today, who, if they weren't in that division, would likely be the top of any other division.
Dallin Burning with the ball. Now the North Stars in pursuit. Calder Adams can't get there. Burning picks it up. He's going to roll that up the floor as they give that ball back to the North Stars. Stewart sends that up for Cochran. Cochran in deep for Moran. Moran in tight. Pass across. Shot, scores. No goal.
No, he just missed the net. Had he caught the ball all in sync, you're probably right on the call.
Very close call there. I got a little ahead of myself. Very excited, of course. North Stars looking to get in tight here. First time they do. You just got to hope for the best. Good shot here. Eversloam Wickens can't get that one to go.
Yeah, real nice individual effort there. He beat his guy, cut back, got a good shot going across body, and the goaltender made a real nice save.
Now the Rebels trying to make something happen. McDonald sends that out for Wilrow. Miller trying to get in tight. Rowe across the floor. Twisting and turning. McDonald, good shot, saved by Nick Sanderson. Sanderson's going to be able to connect there with Logan Cleggs. Cleggs is up the floor. He's got Morrison with him as well. Holden Stevenson, he's going to flip that up for Jonah Kerr. Jonah Kerr, a big part of this offense, spent a few days away with a head injury, and now he's back, feeling good. Flipping that up the floor. Tristan Garlow, he's going to wait for his team to get in and set up. Connects there with Trace Hill. Trace Hill connects with Will Rowe. Will Rowe sends that in deep. Six Nations still with the ball. Trying to connect, long shot here, good save, Nick Sanderson. Carter Moran gets the rebound. Moran sent into the boards hard. Moran loses it there. Now picked up by Six Nations. Rebels send that up, connecting with Joe Squire with the goal already. Trace Hill sends that deep for Will Rowe. Will Rowe can't get around his man. Finally does. Calvin Stewart harassing him. Will Rowe still with the ball. Rowe hit in the back. Stewart just on him. Won't give him a second to think. Will Rowe, hard shot. And that one goes wide. Picked up now by Joe Squire. And he's going to let the rest of this clock run out. Up and out of play, and then caught there by Nick Sanderson as he flips that up For Calvin Stewart, we'll take a moment here and thank Pizza Hut for providing the crew refreshments and all their support of the Junior B North Stars. If you'd like to visit the Owen Sound Pizza Hut, you can do so at 669 10th Street West, Owen Sound, Ontario. Call them at 519-371-5660 or visit their website at pizzahut.ca. Eli Hemelin carries that in, flips that off for number 8, Will Rowe. Will Rowe connecting with Squire. Squire sends that in deep. Nations with it, shot, scores! Number 16, Chaz Hill with a great shot there, and he's able to strike again for the Six Nations Rebels, putting them ahead by a goal, 2-1 for the Rebels. See a good shot here as Will Rowe is able to get the assist on that, sends that over. Sorry, the secondary assist. Joe Squire with the primary assist. And a hard shot there by number 16, Chaz Hill. North Stars finding themselves in a hole. And Six Nations with possession off the hop. They're going to carry this into the offensive zone. Battling along the boards there. Long shot, good save there. Nick Sanderson picked up by Ethan Kerr. Kerr's going to connect with Moran. Moran having to twist for that ball, but he's got a streaking Laycock in tight, hard shot. Curtis Arnold can't get that one to go.
Yeah, good to see Curtis Arnold back in the lineup. Again, he has a real nose for the net, and hopefully he can help penetrate this defense.
Curtis Arnold flips that in tight. Hard shot there on target by Carter Moran.
Again, we see Owen Sound falling into some old habits again by not being very static, not moving off ball, kind of ball watching to see where that thing is, and they're going to have to do a lot more work off ball in order to spring guys open and be ready for offensive opportunities off the pass.
Will Rowe can't handle that pass, and it goes into the corner. Flags tries to block it. Long shot here. Good save, Nick Sanderson, off that Dallin burning shot. North Stars can't quite get to that. Owen Pryor's going to use those legs to try to beat the Nations to it. Able to get there. Owen Pryor, round one. Goalie comes out of his net to try to knock that loose. Can't quite get there in time. Laycock will send that up. Kerr sends it in deep. Across the floor, Cochran throws it to Laycock. In tight here. Lone Wickings can't get there. Kerr can't block that pass. Now the Rebels gain possession. Carried out by Damon DeCare. DeCare across the floor, connects with McDonald. McDonald in tight. Long shot here, that one goes wide. Another strong attempt by Chaz Hill. Now you've got Ethan Kerr in tight, pass across. Can't pick that one up as Arnold just gets a foot in the crease trying to slow down.
Yeah, he's going to have to decide to either shoot or pass. You can't wait till your teammate is right up on top of the crease there. His momentum is going to push him through the crease, and we had a 2-on-1 that sort of got blown up by their own inability to make a pass.
Rowe up the floor, trying to catch Cleggs. Cleggs gets hammered into the boards there, and that one's knocked loose, and looks like a possession call going in favor of the Owen Sound North Stars. Tyson Morrison with some speed. He's going to flip that off for Jonah Kerr. Jonah Kerr is going to carry this back into the offensive zone now. A battle in front. Holden Stevenson. Good work distracting. Hard shot here, and he's going to be sent into the boards, and now we're going to get a fight here. Hard battle there by the North Stars. And I think we're going to see a few penalties get called here as number 19, Jonah Kerr, gets leveled against the boards in a headlock. Heading to the bench is Jack Biro. I'm not sure if he's, not sure what he's thinking he's going to get to the bench, and I think they're going to get a call against him as well. So both players will head to the bench. We'll take a look here as Jonah Kerr gets kind of shoved there into the goal. Yeah, he might have let himself get shoved a little bit, but definitely off balance and battle ensues.
Can't imagine this is a 2-2, but one never knows what the referees will come up with. They don't have the luxury of the replay, but it certainly was a far more aggressive play towards the. Well, he is getting a 5-minute major, probably 2 to Jonah Kerr.
So Jack Biro getting 5 minutes. The coaches on the side of Six Nations are not very happy with that call. Still nothing yet up on the scoreboard in the direction of Jonah Kerr, and there we've got 2 minutes up on the board for Jonah Kerr. So the North Stars will get a 3-minute power play after 2 minutes of 4-on-4.
Yeah, I don't know that that would warranted a 5-minute major. He's certainly aggressive, but you know, probably a double minor for Rupp would have sufficed, but nonetheless, it's a good opportunity for Owen Sound to get back at even here with a little 4-on-4 and then a 5-on-4 for 3 minutes.
Moran sends that deep for Cochran. Cochran trying to get around his man. Creates a little bit of space. Doesn't have a shot. Still looking for a pass. Connects with Laycock. Laycock looking. Gets that across. And that's going to be blocked and now picked up by Six Nations. An unfortunate play there by Owen Sound. Now Six Nations in tight with a shot. Good save there by Nick Sanderson. That's going to go all the way back and now picked back up by Six Nations. They're going to kill more time off of this penalty as they carry this in. Good defense there by Owen Sound trying to knock that loose. He gets pulled down to the ground there by number 20 Marcus Talk, and Owen Pryor's going to pick this up now. He's going to go right to the net. He's going to take the shot anyways, gets the rebound, and Owen Sound's going to need to get to this first to maintain any sort of possession on this power play. Rather on this 4-on-4. Power play to come in about a minute here. Tyson Morrison. Back to Curtis Arnold. Arnold with a long shot. That gets deflected wide. Owen Sound's going to foot race now. They're going to need to get going. Picked up Tristan Garlow. He's going to let this go all the way to the corner. In possession, Clegg's able to keep him to the outside, and now he'll get attacked and slashed and knocked loose there. Clegg's able to knock it loose, but picked back up there by Garlow.
And again, the defense is sleeping there. They missed the guy coming off the bench, but fortunate for them, the pass couldn't connect with the streaking offensive play.
Zach Lemon getting his first touch of the game, flipping that up for Logan Cleggs. Jordan Cochran, 17 seconds left, still an Owen Sound power play. Flips that up, Carter Moran. They'll look for a clock reset here in a moment, and Laycock can't handle that pass. He's able to get to it first, getting harassed still. 3 seconds left, he's gonna take that wide, and that's gonna be a late shot there by Cochran, won't count, and now the Six Nations Rebels with 3 minutes to go. Now down by a man. Wilrow with the ball, carries this wide. He wants to try to kill the last 17 seconds on the shot clock. He's gonna get taken into the boards by Gavin Downs. Wilrow completely pinned. Gavin Downs looks to be almost twice his size from all the way back here, and we're gonna call a dead ball there, possession to Owen Sound. Nick Sanderson sends that over for Calvin Stewart. Connects with Carter Moran. Now to Loam Wickens. Loam Wickens is going to connect there with Laycock. Back to Loam Wickens. Laycock. Loam Wickens to Moran. Moran gets that one deflected wide. Now Loam Wickens is going to have to get there. And it bounces out of play. Owen Sound, unfortunately, losing possession of that. They're going to be down to about a minute 45 by the time they get this ball back. We're on a 3-minute power play, so we'll still have about half the power play left to go to try to even up this score here in the first period. Wilrow trying to set a pick. Ball down for Wilrow. Rowe still battling, still with it. 4 seconds left. He's going to take a long shot there and try to reset a clock. Doesn't quite get it. And now the North Stars will gain the ball here. Everest Loam Wickens. He's going to send that over for Moran. Laycock, low, Morrison, backdoor shot, hard shot, scored! Owen Sound, North Stars able to tie this game up off a great pass and a backdoor shot by number 5, Jordan Cochran.
Yeah, that was real nice ball movement. They did exactly what you want to do on a power play. Take advantage of the man up, continue to rotate that ball around, and get it to the guy that got nobody on him. And in this case, Jordan Cochran right at the edge of the crease, and was able to bury that behind the goaltender before he could come over the side. So, and again, being this a 5-minute major, they will be, the player will still remain in the box, and they will still have a minute 30 here on the power play. So it takes 2 goals to release that man down situation.
Squire sending that deep for Dalen Burning, who's going to try to, he's going to lose that one, and Calvin Stewart will pick that up. He's going to connect with Ethan Kerr. Ethan Kerr is going to carry this up the floor and send that over to Carter Moran, who throws that back to Everslum Wickens. North Stars looking to build off that momentum and take their first lead of the game. Carter Moran back up high. Laycock, long shot there, good save. Pick back up, rebound, right out in front. Hard shot, can't get that one to go. Cochran doesn't get there first. He's going to need to get his feet moving and catch up to Rowan Smith. Smith is going to turn back to the boards and try to kill the rest of this clock. Smith faking a shot and getting Owen Sound to bite on it. Create some room for himself. 15 seconds left for him to kill. Garlow trying to get in tight. Wilrow with it. Wilrow gets around Gavin Downs in tight, loses that ball to Nick Sanderson. Nick Sanderson, he's going to connect there with Marcus Tock. Marcus Tock's going to move this ball up the floor. Connects with Jonah Kerr to Carter Moran. Carter Moran up the floor, able to find Everslum Wickens. They're setting up now for their power play. About 14 seconds left. They're going to need to make something happen here. Long shot, Moran can't get that one to go. Good save there by number 30, Ryder Johnson. Now Johnson's going to send this up the floor and connect there with number 22, Trace Hill. Trace Hill's going to carry this in. They've got 1 second left. They're even strength now with 19 seconds left out in front. Good save. Nick Sanderson. He's going to connect now with Zach Lemon playing in his first home game of the year. Up the floor there and able to find Jackson Ray, who's going to send that off and connect with Jonah Kerr.
Another transition opportunity with the Owen Sound defenders not recognizing the player coming off the Six Nations bench. So they're going to really have to, a lot of communication and know who to pick up so they don't find themselves giving up those easy transition opportunities.
That one's going to be backhanded, scooped up into the rafters and out of play. And now the Six Nations Rebels will get a full 30 seconds in their offensive zone. Burning across the floor. McDonald tries to cut in tight. McDonald back up for Burning. Burning getting hacked and slashed there. Picked up. Calvin Stewart can't quite get to it. Calder Adams can't quite either. Now picked up by Will Rowe, able to get around both. Passes to Burning. Hard shot. Good save by Nick Sanderson. Stewart carries this up the floor. We'll hear from Stewart during the second intermission. Jordan Cochran up the floor, getting battled hard here. Good defense from the Nations. Passed over. Stevenson sends that to Tyson Morrison. Morrison trying to get around one. Gets a stick right up in the midsection. Now Laycock in front. Shot scores! Nate Laycock diving across the net, able to find the top of the net. And now the North Stars take a 1-goal lead. What a goal by Nate Laycock.
Yeah, the Six Nations goaltender is pretty perplexed, thinking that this was should have been a crease call, but again, it's great we get to see it here. That was a good call. He definitely released prior to the ball entering the net and landing in the crease. It had crossed the line, so close call, and they're always tough for the referees to call them in real time. So good on them. Right back in the lead here, so first time today.
I think if the North Stars are to learn anything from their 3 goals here this afternoon, is that getting in tight against number 30 Ryder Johnson is going to end up producing. Now 1 minute left and a good save there by Nick Sanderson. Testing that ankle early in this game. Burning can't come up with that one. Instead, Trey Miller sends it across the floor. Now McDonald twisting and turning. That one's going to get blocked and picked up by Chaz Hill. Chaz Hill with a goal already for Six Nations. Hill, he's got Wilrow in tight. Nobody's guarding him yet, and now we're going to get a possession call going in favor of the North Stars. Carter Moran, and now we're going to get a timeout called by the North Stars with 29 seconds left and 28 on the shot clock. So Owen Sound trying to draw up a play here to make sure that this is in fact the last possession of the period.
I would think Owen Sound should ask for a reset on the 30. They called that immediately once it was blown in, and I don't know how 2 seconds went off, but
we'll take a quick look here as well at the Owen Sound scoring leaders. Carter Moran up there in first place with 15 games played. He's got 30 goals and 45 assists for 75 points. Great work there by Carter. Tyson Morrison, who we've seen some fireworks from already this season, 19-21 for 40 points. Nate Laycock scoring that incredible, and I call it an incredible Nate Laycock goal, and yet he's scored about 5 like that already this season. 14 goals for him, 21 assists, 35 points for him. Jordan Cochran, 1 point below him at 34. And then Eversloam Wickens, who's been up there quite some time, sitting in the high 20s.
Yeah, as you can see, once you get past the top 5 in Owen Sound scoring, there is not only, it's a catastrophic drop-off where we get players almost in single digits. So that's, the importance for the 5 guys that are putting up bulk of the numbers to really get in sync here. And then with the help of Elliot Thompson, who's kind of moved up front.
And there's going to be a penalty here. I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, Six Nations, number 21, Jack Biro, just absolutely loses his mind. And he's going to get sent out of this game. There's no way they keep him in this game after that kind of outburst.
No, I think this is a carryover from the 5-minute roughing call. So they've gone after.
And Owen Sound North Stars are giving him a cheer as he heads off the floor. You can see Jack Biro just attacks Jonah Kerr out of absolutely nowhere. Jack Biro heading off. And that's going to spell the end of his night with 24 seconds left in the first period. He's going to miss the final 2 periods of this game. So Owen Sound is going to get their final possession here on the power play. I can't imagine even a single call will go in favor or will go against the North Stars. I think this is just going to be likely. Would you say a 5-minute again here, Steve?
Yeah, it'll be a 5. That's why he's been removed from the game. It'll be his second major in the game, which is an automatic expulsion or game misconduct from the game. So we'll just be curious again to see if Jonah Hill gets anything. He had a few words to say, and obviously kicked the opponent's stick across the floor, but I don't know that the referees saw any of that. So he may be unscathed by any of this.
The North Stars, with the 2-minute penalty going against Jonah Kerr earlier in this game, I believe now sit at 508 penalty minutes, which is almost 200 penalty minutes more than the Six Nations Rebels. So the North Stars certainly are a chippy team up here, and I think they use that to their advantage. It's certainly a part of their identity as a team. And they're going to send one off, and looks like the off-floor official's not 100% sure what's going on, but they're going to get this final possession here. As Eversloam Wickens is taking a look at the clock. He wants to make sure that when they make a play here, there's only time for that one play. Loam Wickens, back door, back in front, hard shot, Laycock. Can't get that one to go, I think just off the crossbar.
Yeah, the reason they were able to rush that play is they didn't bring the goalie out because of the 5-on-4 situation. So and they were fortunate there that Jordan Cochran didn't get picked up a deuce there for high sticking. He got the stick up on the attempted stick check, kind of wrapped him in a jaw, but nothing. Again, referees didn't see it or didn't feel it warranted a call.
Well, the referees are going to have, I think, an exciting afternoon here refereeing this game as the North Stars and the Rebels wish each other luck, I'm pretty sure is what was going on there at center following the buzzer. And both referees are heading off the floor now for the intermission. We'll be right back after this commercial break with an interview from Trey Miller, number 12, on the Six Nations Rebels. He joined us pregame to talk all about the Six Nations team and kind of an up and down season for them, a little bit different than the past few seasons. So we'll be right back after this break. And then Steve and I will break down what we saw in this period so far. You're watching the Owen Sound North Stars here on Rogers TV. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the set of Attack Wrap. I'm your host, Nick Kennedy. We have officially wrapped the show for the year, the final episode just being taped. Make sure you tune in here on Rogers TV for all of your Attack action. And don't forget, on May 26th, it's a Sunday, we've got the Owen Sound Attack Barbecue. You can come out to that. It'll be hosted at the Bayshore as well. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And we'll see you next season for another round of Attack Wrap and another season of Owen Sound Attack Hockey.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you perform?
Yes.
Do you travel for work?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and J.D. MacArthur Arena. I'm joined here with number 12, Trey Miller from the Six Nations Rebels. Trey, it's been a bit of an up and down season for Six Nations. You guys are just over 500, sporting a 9-8 record. How do you guys plan on finishing out the rest of this season here?
You know, just coming out with intensity every game, like showing up to the arena ready. Everyone's, you know, talking about the game right when we get there, you know, getting our sticks on or whatever. You know, sometimes come out a little bit slow, and that's, you know, what kills us in the first period. And, you know, we fight back, but we got to have it like every single period, 60 minutes.
You know, offense has not necessarily been something that you guys have been lacking, a pretty good goal differential. Has that been just a good combo between offense and defense, or is one part of your guys' game just really shone this year?
I think we're an all-around solid team, you know, like we have good transition, we have solid defense, you know. Our offense is working, you know. We weren't as good as we are now, but, you know, we're going to get there and be ready to gel for playoff time.
Excellent. You know, you guys are on the road. It's a long bus ride up here. How do you guys plan on coming away with the W? What is your key to success for this game?
You know, just going 100% every shift, you know. Sometimes, you know, long weekends, you got 3 games. Legs are tired at the end, but if, you know, you just keep going through every shift, you know, you'll get the goals and you'll get the stops.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Trey. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Owen Sound North Stars versus the Six Nation Rebels here on Rogers TV. Stay tuned for the next period of play.
Hi, I'm Tiffany James, the host of Her Story. Join us on Rogers TV as I interview various women in our community on how they found success in their own way.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
I lost my job recently, and it's been tough to keep my spirits up. I feel like I'm failing my family. Your prayers have given me renewed hope and guidance. You were there for me in my darkest moments, shining a guiding light. Thankful to say, our prayers have been answered.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the press box here at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and JD MacArthur Arena. I'm Nick Kennedy, joined here by Steve McCarthy. Steve, a pretty back and forth period there. Six Nations getting up by a goal, Owen Sound tying it, and then Six Nations goes up 2-1, and then Owen Sound gets back-to-back goals. They're leading now, and 2 5-minute penalties for Six Nations. What do you make of all that happened?
Well, I mean, everybody always wants to be able to stand up for their goalie, and I don't know that it was a play where the Owen Sound player purposely went crashing to the net. I think he was helped along the way, and then it got a little out of hand that first 5 minutes. And as soon as they hit the floor again, those two, I think it was Bureau, went after Jonah, and subsequently got another 5. So, Six Nations is going to need to play a lot more discipline if they want to hang around this game. They certainly have a skilled squad, but they, Owen Sound, when they, looks like they have pretty much all their lineup intact for the first time this season. So they, and they're on a roll. So to be giving teams 5-minute major opportunities on the power play is not generally a good, successful recipe for winning.
Absolutely. We'll give you about 30 seconds to talk about this. The North Stars goal differential of about -30. Now they finally got their lineup together. How much is that going to impact going forward, their goal differential?
Well, I mean, it's going to help, but I mean, as we noted, looking at their scoring, you take the top 5 players away off the Owen Sound, and they get almost nothing from the rest of the roster. So that's, it's 13 runners every night that aren't really contributing. So you're going to have to defend well in transition. You're going to have to start creating more offensive opportunities in transition, and hope that some of these guys that typically don't get on the score sheet can chip in and really take the pressure off those top 5 offensive threats.
Well, the North Stars looking for a transition game and some depth scoring. We'll be right back with the second period of play.
Hi, I'm David Sherman, host of Politically Speaking. Politically Speaking is interviews with your politicians on Rogers TV. 7 o'clock, Thursday evening. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
I battle with addiction of prescription drugs since my mom passed. Please tell God I'm sorry, and I really just want to feel his love right now. I don't want to kill myself. Can you please pray for me?
Here are 3
3 reasons why your social strategies should include Rogers TV. Reason number 1 is we have hyper-local audiences. The community TV channel gives you a chance to engage with people where you live, so you really get to know your neighbors and they get to know you. Reason number 2 is we can help diversify your distribution. With social media, it's really important to be able to have a wider audience, and Rogers TV can actually help complement your online presence by delivering to a different audience. And it's actually really easy to repurpose your existing content or to just create new material specifically tailored for community TV. And finally, reason number 3 is we can help enhance your credibility and your trust. And by aligning your brand with Rogers TV, you can tap into that trust that viewers have. This can boost your reputation, especially among viewers who favor local businesses and value community involvement. 1, 2, 3. It's that easy to build your local audience with Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center, J.D. MacArthur Arena, getting ready for the face-off before the second period. Thompson winning that one back. Now the North Stars, they're going to run quick to get there, and Six Nations actually able to get to the ball first, so North Stars not starting off the second period the way they'd want to, well on the man advantage. Six Nations still carrying the ball here. Trace Hill trying to make something happen. Hill gets around, takes a long shot. That one's deflected wide there. And Six Nations is going to pick this one up. And they're going to call an over and back here as they're down a man. So now the North Stars will get their first possession of the second period with 4 minutes left to go in their power play. Jack Biro, number 21, sent off the floor. 2 roughing calls, both 5-minute calls, so that spells the end of his night. Now Tyson Morrison into the zone here. Laycock tries to get that in tight. Can't quite. Good shot there, North Stars. Unfortunately from distance, it won't be too much for Ryder Johnson to handle. Leighton McDonald, he's serving the penalty here for Jack Biro, number 44. Seems to be a staple on this Rebels offense, so they're gonna put him in there as he doesn't do a whole lot on penalty kills. So smart move there by the referee, or by the coach rather. Burning still with it, high shot, scores! Number 77, Dallin Burning. The Owen Sound North Stars just asleep here at the beginning of the second period, it looks like.
Yeah, well again, you're 5-on-4. You certainly need to pressure the ball carrier. Certainly when it's a big guy like that who's their leading scorer, you cannot just give him time and space. So you certainly have an extra player. You have an opportunity to put pressure on. And here you see just nothing. Players went out, and rather than get in the shooting lane, he ducked out of it. And you're going to need to make sacrifices and soak a few shots now and then. And you're going to be on the B side of the ball, and that's not a way to start a period when you're on a 5-minute penalty advantage.
North Stars now with the ball. Back in the offensive zone, score tied 3-3. Jonah Kerr across the floor, hard shot, can't get that one to go. Jordan Cochran with a good attempt, but a great save by Ryder Johnson. Laycock looking to land a big hit, doesn't quite. They're gonna have to get this transition of defensemen back out there. Now across the floor, Will Rowe, shot! Good save there by Nick Sanderson. Rowe can't get his stick in the way of that one. Now Jackson Ray will carry this up the floor. Gets that in tight, hard shot there. No good for the North Stars. Good save by Ryder Johnson. Now he's going to connect up with Trace Hill. Trace Hill's in. And he's going to turn this one back. Will Rowe almost putting the Rebels ahead here, down a man, but almost getting their second shorthanded goal of the day.
Yeah, both teams kind of trading transition opportunities, and that is not the first time that Owen Sound defenders have not checked who's coming off the bench, and he was in all alone, but couldn't bury.
Joe Squire sends that ball wide. Now picked up here by Gavin Downs. Gavin Downs connecting with Everest Lum Wickens. Wickens has Laycock. He's got Morrison out there. Moran. Jordan Cochran down low. Moran finds Laycock, who's got a lane. Shot. Can't get that one to go. Hard shot here by Moran. Good save again by Johnson. Morrison's going to need to turn his head. Doesn't quite. Now the Six Nations able to pick up that ball, but connecting a little bit there with the referee to slow this play down. DeCare behind the net. Getting checked. DeCare back around the net. Checked there by Morrison. DeCare still with it. DeCare's going to hold this on and throw it down into the zone to spell the end of that attack. Now the North Stars will go up the floor. Tyson Morrison leading the way. Tyson Morrison connecting there with Everest Lum Wickens. Lum Wickens still with the ball, and he's going to throw that across the floor to Moran. Moran down for Cochran. Moran back up to Lum Wickens. Hard shot by Laycock off the post. Now the North Stars pick it up. Tyson Morrison sends that shot in wide. Rebound picked up by Moran. Carter Moran's going to cycle back. He's going to take a minute here and look around. He'll throw that up for Everest Lum Wickens. Lum Wickens has a lane, takes that shot, can't quite find the top corner. And now the Rebels with some speed. Rowan Smith, he's going to cut to the boards. Will Rowe can't quite get that pick set. Now it's knocked loose out of Smith. Stewart can't get there first. Pryor attacking. Squire able to pick it up. Now Clegg's on Squire. Squire gets that arm up high, no call.
And there's the 5-minute majors now expired, and they're -1 off of it.
So the North Stars really struggling on that power play. They'll get an attempt now to play a little bit of 5-on-5. Gavin Downs carrying that up the floor. Not often an offensive player, so he's going to slow things down and wait for Everest Lum Wickens. And now Gavin Downs will head off the floor. Lum Wickens up for Moran. Carter Moran. Picked there by Thompson. Long shot by Moran from the outside, and a penalty here going against Six Nations. So Owen Sound will quickly go back on to the power play. We'll see how a 2-minute power play does, because the almost 5-minute call did not go great for the Owen Sound North Stars. Looks like Thomas Crossley heading to the box for an illegal cross check.
Yeah, he was taking out some pretty good whacks on the small of the back, again on Jonah Kerr, and he's now making his way into the dressing room.
A good positional save there by Ryder Johnson. He didn't see that ball coming, but great save as he's able to be in a smart position. Trace Hill carries us into the offensive zone for the Rebels. We'll keep you updated on the situation there with Jonah Kerr. Six Nations still attacking. Trey Miller trying to find a lane. Can't quite get around Ethan Kerr and unable to connect there with Burning. And the North Stars wisely letting that one roll out of the crease before picking it up and potentially being called with the back in. Now Carter Moran. Moran still with it. Back low, hard shot. Cochran can't get that one to go. Knocked up and out of play. Laycock is going to start with the ball. Laycock connecting with Lum Wickens. Across the floor, Moran down low. Cochran back to Moran. Lum Wickens. Hard shot right into the 5-hole. Johnson easily handling that one.
Well, again, when we look back to when they scored their power play goal, they were patient, they moved the ball, they got it down to the crease, went cross crease, and had an empty net. Since then, they've lived up top with the perimeter shots. Very little work off ball. They did run a nice scissor play a couple of sets ago that didn't result in a goal, but a good scoring opportunity. But you got to work hard when you're on the power play. It doesn't stop. So you might, again, want to get a little reset here. They're going to have 22 seconds left.
Pass across, Clegg, shot, can't get that one to go. And now the Six Nations Rebels with an attempt. Gets the shoulder in, doesn't get the shot away. So the North Stars will effectively end their power play off that rush. And unfortunately, nothing happening as Cleggs can't get that ball to go. Hill. North Stars trying to get to that loose ball first, and they're going to get that call going in their favor. Carrying this up the floor, Zach Lemon. A couple of touches here this game.
Well, we're 12 and a half minutes into the second period here. Owen Sound's been on the power play for 6.5 minutes of it, and they have 0 to show for it. So.
Carter Moran able to pick up that loose ball, connecting with Lone Wickens. North Stars trying to turn the Jets on here, long shot. The rebound picked up there by Thompson, so good work picking up that rebound off of a relatively harmless shot. Curtis Arnold gets around his man in tight, hard shot, scores! Curtis Arnold, his first game back at the Bayshore, and he puts the North Stars ahead by 1. The North Stars able to get the ball to the net, and finally finding the back of the net.
Again, that's a typical Curtis Arnold goal. You know, picks the ball up on the side here, one step, beats his defender, and goes to the net. And a nice short side bounce shot, and you know, he manages to put it by Ryder Johnson, I believe the goaltender here this afternoon. And you know, they got the lead back. Kind of made something out of nothing, but they're again consistently going to have to do a lot better job on offense, moving their feet, moving the ball, and forcing the Six Nations defense to defend.
For an attempt here, that one goes wide, picked up by Ethan Kerr. I love that goal there by the North Stars. You can see that Curtis Arnold was able to kind of fake the high shot, getting Ryder Johnson to stand up and lose coverage of his 5-hole. Just a quick bounce shot through, and the wickets can't quite close quick enough. Now Tyson Morrison, he gets around his man. That shot gets blocked. Now Six Nations with him. Up for Trace Hill. Hill, long shot. Good save there, Nick Sanderson, as he comes across quickly to pick that up. Now the North Stars in transition. Cleggs will carry this into the offensive zone. Flipping that up for Carter Moran. Moran, Holden Stevenson comes out for him. Sends that across the floor. Jonah Kerr back on the floor, feeling a little bit better. Gets around 1, loses control a little bit, maintains possession. Laycock can't get that. A rough pass there, and that's going to be knocked up and out of play. And the North Stars will get possession of this with a fresh 30. So they can slow things down here and try to get their lead ahead by 2. In tight, sent across. Moran connects with Arnold. Arnold in tight again, shot, scores! Curtis Arnold, he is on fire for the North Stars.
Again, you know, we could talk about a typical Curtis Arnold goal, but again, that's what it is. He has great speed, a great nose to the net, and a nice little 2-man game here where Laycock seals his man. Good job there, and again, Curtis is able to crash to the net, reach over the shoulder, and put it in. Nothing fancy, just hard work, meat and potatoes with a little help on the screen there by Laycock to spring them open.
Both shots by Curtis Arnold very deceptive and able to get Ryder Johnson and just kind of dip that shoulder as he tries to get across the net. Tries to bring the elbow up to make the save and can't quite do it. Curtis Arnold with a pair of goals here in the second period and hopefully lighting a fire for the Owen Sound North Stars as they light the lamp for the second time this period. Now in tight, Jordan Cochran, backdoor pass, gets around 1. Jonah Kerr can't quite underhand that one into the net. It's going to flip off to the corner. And Jonah Kerr would like to have that one back again. And now the North Stars battling. Tyson Morrison trying to get to that loose ball. Can't quite. Good hit there. As Trace Hill loses that ball to Marcus Topp. Now another battle along the boards. And finally carried into the offensive zone by Eli Hymanen. Hard shot there. That goes high and wide. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Now the North Stars in a foot race. Gavin Downs in tight. takes his shoulder, knocked to the ground, loses the ball, and picked up there by Ryder Johnson, who sends a backhand pass. Now they've got an open net. They'll take this in. Carter Moran, hard shot, can't get that one to go. Gavin Downs shoots and it scores! Gavin Downs picking up the rebound and batting it into the net. The Owen Sound North Stars are up by 3.
And I think your description of batting in is precisely it. I don't know that he even scooped the ball up. I think he kind of scooped it towards the net. And a heads-up play when sometimes when you have the goalie scrambling like that, it's a great idea to do it. So you'll see here, he just hockey shot in there. Nice little flick of the wrist, and Owen Sound on a bit of a run here now with 3 unanswered goals.
North Stars clearly liking this 5-on-5 play, so we'll see if that continues throughout the rest of the game. Hard shot there, sent wide. Wilrow can't connect with Nick Sanderson on that one. Now picked up by Ryder Johnson. Johnson sends that up the floor. Rowan Smith into the offensive zone. Sends that across for Burning. Burning connecting. Miller shot. That goes high and wide. Good deflection there by Logan Cleggs. This ball is going to go all the way back and picked up by Ryder Johnson. He's going to try to send this up the floor quickly. Does so. And there, sends it right to Marcus Talk, who connects with Logan Cleggs. Cleggs gets around. Shot! And a good save there by the 5-hole of Ryder Johnson. Owen Pryor battling. That one's knocked loose, and now a possession call going in favor of the Six Nations Rebels. They'll carry this up the floor. Taking it into the offensive zone is Tristan Garlow. Throwing that over for Chaz Hill. Knocked loose there by Joe Squire. And that ball is going to go wide. Wilrow can't get to the rebound quick enough, so McDonald gets there. Carter Moran guarding McDonald, sends that across the floor to Chaz Hill. Chaz Hill with the goal already. Stick knocked loose out of Owen Sound's hands there. Zach Lemon loses his stick, and now Carter Moran and Calvin Stewart, they're going to send that one in tight. Here's a shot, just sent wide there as Jonah Kerr can't quite find the back of the net. Carter Moran's going to pick it up and send it over to Eversloam Wickens.
Yeah, and a nice heads-up pass by Calvin Stewart there, right on the money in transition, and unfortunately they couldn't bury, but again, those are the types of opportunities.
In tight shot scores! Eversloam Wickens off a fantastic pass by Tyson Morrison.
And again, we score inside, which has been pretty much where all the goals have come tonight for the most part. And, you know, when you move your feet and get to where your defender ain't, you're going to have success. And again, a nice little two-man game, and Lone Wickens buried in front, made a nice catch in traffic right on the edge of the crease and buries it again.
And we're going to get a goaltender change as Ryder Johnson is getting pulled from this game, letting 4 straight goals in here in about 4.5 minutes or so. So Mason Jacobs is going to make his goaltending debut this season at the Bayshore for the Six Nations Rebels. We'll take this moment as well to thank Pizza Hut for all of the crew refreshments and their support of the Owen Sound Junior B North Stars. If you'd like to visit Pizza Hut, you can do so at 669 10th Street West, Owen Sound, Ontario. Or call them at 519-371-5660 or visit their website at www.pizzahut.ca. Thank you, Pizza Hut, for your continued support of your Rogers TV crew and the Owen Sound North Stars. Wilrow taken hard into the boards there by Calder Adams. Adams picking this one up. He's able to connect there with Jackson Ray. Now you've got Ray, Laycock, and Thompson. Thompson in, sends that over for Laycock. Gets around one, hard shot just off the shoulder of Mason Jacobs. Jacobs facing one shot and stopping it already. Six Nations now in tight. Hard shot, that one's deflected wide. North Stars still with speed. They might try to make something happen. Clegg sends that in tight. Hard shot, scores! Owen Sound goes up by 4 as Jonah Kerr finds the back of the net.
And again, as we talked about in between periods, great looking transition play from the North Stars there, and that gave them that quick strike opportunity in offense, and Jonah Kerr made no mistake, dragging the goalie across, and rather than where a lot of guys try to fake far side, come back short side, he welcomes the new goaltender with a shot upstairs and kind of underneath the arm, and we got ourselves an 8-3 game and a 5-goal run here.
Thompson winning that ball aggressively forward. Now picked up by Nate Laycock. Laycock trying to get around Trace Hill. Laycock still battling with possession. Mask up over his eyes, takes a shot anyway. And they're going to say foot in the crease. Jacobs will pick that one up, and he'll send that forward for the Six Nations Rebels. The Owen Sound North Stars leading by 5 goals. 8-3 here in the second period. Sent across, and now McDonald is going to send that one up. Can't quite get his stick hooked around that one. And loses possession as it just rolls out. Knocked to the ground there, North Stars. That ball is going to go up and out of play, and now the North Stars will have to defend. The Six Nations Rebels as Damon DeCare takes this into the offensive zone. DeCare sends out wide. Squire right out in front. Wilrow trying to pick that one up. Can't quite. Now Marcus Talk. He's got speed. He is one of the fastest players on this team. He's got Owen Pryor. Takes it right to the net. Shot off the post. Can't get that one to go. Now Logan Clegg's trying to get back in time. 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, we're going to reset here with that shot off the post. So he has incredible speed, no question about it. And again, did a nice play. We tried to go far side. He had the goaltender beat, but it was an inch or two off the mark.
Carter Moran connects with Tyson Morrison. Morrison in tight, hard shot, tries to go through the 5-hole, and that's going to bounce up and out of play. Now Six Nations are going to carry this into the offensive zone. They got Trace Hill chasing to the net.
Yeah, I'm no geometry expert, but I'm not certain how that shot could have been called out of play on the trajectory it left. It looked like it hit the goaltender's shoulder on the way by, but nonetheless, we're gone the other way.
That hard shot goes wide. Trace Hill picks up his own rebound. Squire sends that in tight, hard shot. Good save, Nick Sanderson. Now Calvin Stewart throws that all the way up the floor, and Elliot Thompson just misses that pass.
That was a real nice pass. It looked like it was on the money, but it did have the, a long way to travel, and Elliot Thompson just couldn't corral it.
Damon DeCare sends that in for Trace Hill. Trace Hill connecting there with Trey Miller. Trey Miller up for Squire. Squire also loses control of that ball a couple of times now. Six Nations haven't been able to hook the tip of their stick around it.
Yeah,
now Owen Pryor. Hard shot. Good save there.
They've really been settling for perimeter. They have a lot of guys who really shoot the ball, but they've certainly, they haven't really been utilizing one another on offense here at all tonight. Just a lot of individual
hard
effort.
shot there, Burning scores, just like you were saying. But they love those perimeter goals. They've got some good shooters.
And Burning, I mean, he's a big man. He looks like he probably could be 6'6". He towers over everybody else out there. He's a leading scorer with the Rebels, and that's his second shot. He's got both goals this period, both from pretty much the same spot on the floor. And again, it's tough to get in the shooting lane when you're defending a guy who's 6'6" or perhaps better. But that's what you got to do, is get in the way, make him turn back and have to alter his shot or look to pass.
Alan Burning's almost as tall as his coaches while they're standing on the bench, and he's on the floor below them.
Yes, he is a tall one.
Jackson Ray going to that loose ball. Ray's going to flip that up for Jonah Kerr, sends that in deep. Elliot Thompson can't handle that pass. Now the Rebels will pick this up and carry it up the floor. Thomas Crossley, he's spent a couple of minutes in the box tonight as well. Now Trace Hill. He's going to try a fake ball trick and doesn't quite connect with the pass to Chaz Hill. Trey Miller across the floor. Good shot by Trace Hill. And that's going to trickle down the floor. Picked back up by the Rebels. They don't have a whole lot of time left, so they'll take a long shot in off Nick Sanderson. And the rebound off the post.
Again, that's just, you got to box out. You can't quit on the shot clock. And they're fortunate they only giving the ball back rather than it was in the net, and they got saved by hitting the crossbar.
Right out in front there, and good save by Nick Sanderson as he tries to get low and large. Gavin Downs. Gavin Downs trying to battle here. Carter Moran trying to get his stick in there. Moran's not going to do a whole lot of damage physically, but certainly can offensively.
Well, they're going to turn it over here.
Six Nations right in tight. Owen Smith, he's going to send that up and connect with Tristan Garlow. Garlow's going to send that back for Miller. Miller's going to slow things down. He's got Hill out there as well. Going to send that across the floor. Shot. Heineman can't quite get that one to go. Now Miller can't get it. Picked up there. Wilrow, hard shot. Good save by Nick Sanderson. Gavin Downs throws that up the floor as Zach Lemon is able to connect. Now Lemon's going to wait for some of his team, and he'll send that back to Carter Moran. Moran holds on to that and sends that in deep. Jordan Cochran across the floor. Laycock back for Moran. Hard low shot. And that's going to bounce off. Picked up there by Jordan Cochran.
Yeah, Carter probably could have. He had lots of room to just step out and use the whole front of the net there. He tried to quick stick it after a bit of a pump fake.
Laycock's stick knocked loose from his hand, so he's going to lay a pick for Tyson Morrison. Finally gets to his stick again. Pass across the floor. Jonah Kerr in tight. Can't get that shot to go. Good save there by Mason Jacobs. Jacobs is going to send that one up the floor. Crossley can't connect with that one. Knocked loose. Now Tyson Morrison carrying this back into the offensive zone. Tyson Morrison gets around two. Sends that in deep. Picked up now by Jonah Kerr. Sends that up for Everest Lomwickens. Curtis Arnold out on the floor. Holden Stevenson in tight. Lomwickens is going to slow things down and send that back to Kerr. Kerr, he's going to take a hit. He's going to get around his man. Kerr gets that pass in tight. Holden Stevenson can't quite handle it. Owen Sound trying to find the rebound. Lone Wickens is going to chase this one down. 2 seconds left, long shot. That one's going to go wide, and they're going to send this into the possession of Six Nations as McDonald chases this ball down. McDonald picking this up, sending it up for Squire. Squire across the floor for Will Rowe. Will Rowe gets around Calvin Stewart, turns back, connects with Squire. Squire loses that ball again, and now the North Stars are going to have a breakaway. Calvin Stewart gets around Will Rowe, in tight shot. Great save by Mason Jacobs.
Yeah, no fake. He looked up top, went there, and the goaltender took it away from him. But a great run, great read on that transition opportunity.
Chaz Hill with possession gets that over for Trace Hill. Burning trying to get there. Burning does. Connects there with Will Rowe, long shot. Sanderson turns that away. Sanderson connecting there with Logan Cleggs. Cleggs has Moran in tight. Moran's going to get picked up, and Cleggs is going to slow this down. They're going to try to set up here with 30 seconds left in the second period. Owen Sound leading by 4 goals. Score of 8-4. Lone Wickens sends that in tight for Laycock. Laycock trying to find a way around his man. That shot goes wide, picked up by Moran in tight. Laycock can't get that to go. Resets the clock with 15 seconds. North Stars are going to want to get back quick and make sure they can maintain this 4-goal lead going into the intermission. Carried into the zone now by Tristan Garlow. Garlow's going to connect, sends that over for Burning. Burning carries it in. Good save there, right in the breadbasket for Nick Sanderson. And the Owen Sound North Stars with a fantastic second half of the period. We won't say it was a great first half, or first, we'll say 12 minutes was not fantastic. And then the North Stars just turning on the Jets with 5 straight goals unanswered until finally the Rebels score their 4th of the day. Both teams will head to the break here. Owen Sound 8, Six Nations 4. Right after this break, we'll hear from number 6, Calvin Stewart, about the identity of this North Stars team. Stay tuned on Rogers TV. You're watching the Owen Sound Junior B North Stars.
You. Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000. Does he realize he could have a criminal record for his choice to drive? And it could be much worse if he crashes. Wonder what he'll be thinking tomorrow.
Have a hold on one at 15.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Baking for Change is coming this fall, and I'm your host, Wendy Pauls. We'll feature some of Canada's best bakers like Jen and Astor, sharing their favorite recipes. And you can bake along with us at home, while supporting refugee youth like Crystal. And the amazing work of UNICEF Canada.
Check for days and times.
On Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and J.D. MacArthur Arena. I'm joined here by Owen Sound North Stars assistant captain, number 6, Calvin Stewart. Calvin, the North Stars have been a chippy team this year, already over 500 penalty minutes. How much does that play into the identity of this team?
You know, the team's got to know when they come here, we're obviously going to fight, and like not necessarily physically, but just you're not in for an easy game. We're here to compete.
Is that something that has kind of been drilled into you guys over the years, or is that sort of a new regime change here?
That's one thing actually Gibby's talked on before, saying, you know, here coming to the Bayshore, everyone hates coming here long drive, and just on top of that, getting the crap kicked out of you.
Excellent. You know, you guys have a pretty strong opponent here in the Six Nations Rebels. They've maybe not had the same season that they've had in past, but a good goal differential, strong defense. How do you guys plan on getting past all of that today?
Yeah, but it looks like they're warm up there. They don't have many guys, so just outwork them and tire them down and beat them on a transition game here, and I think that'll be the key to our success here.
Excellent. Transition games, big success, lots of physicality. Stay tuned for the next period of play. You're watching the Owen Sound North Stars versus the Six Nations Rebels here on Rogers TV.
It hurts every day. Each post feels like a dagger. I thought they were my friends. There's no escape. But thanks to your prayer line, you listened and you cared. I found hope in Jesus.
Here are 3 reasons why your social strategies should include Rogers TV. Reason number 1 is we have hyper-local audiences. The community TV channel gives you a chance to engage with people where you live, so you really get to know your neighbors and they get to know you. Reason number 2 is we can help diversify your distribution. With social media, it's really important to be able to have a wider audience, and Rogers TV can actually help complement your online presence by delivering to a different audience. And it's actually really easy to repurpose your existing content or to just create new material specifically tailored for community TV. And finally, reason number 3 is we can help enhance your credibility and your trust. And by aligning your brand with Rogers TV, you can tap into that trust that viewers have. This can boost your reputation, especially among viewers who favor local businesses and value community involvement. 1, 2, 3. It's that easy to build your local audience with Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome welcome back to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and J.D. MacArthur Arena after that wild second period. And, you know, Steve, we talked about how important it is to have this full roster back together for the North Stars. And one face who really lit the fire here for the North Stars is Curtis Arnold, playing in his first game at the Bayshore this year. How important was his presence there in that second period?
Well, I mean, obviously, the two goals he scored were, like we talked about earlier, typical Curtis Arnold individual athletic opportunities. But in both cases, they weren't just him putting his nose down and getting to the net. He had help from, with a little bit of a screen action, and he was able to beat his guy, and the secondary defender was picked off. So he had a clear lane to the net, made no mistake either time, and he can really give you a spark, and he doesn't score from 30, 40 feet. He scores inside goals, and again, it makes the defense be honest, and as again, we saw most of their goals in that second period all come from inside, not from the perimeter where they had kind of started their offense earlier tonight.
Excellent. The Six Nations Rebels, they struggled that period. You were kind of saying, like, they've got a lot of high-skilled players, but it looks like maybe they lack some of that chemistry that you get from a team that really, has gelled well.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly are not been patient so far tonight. They're getting down. There'll be 1, 2, 3 passes up, maybe on the perimeter. Not a lot of work down low. Not a lot of possessions down low. And then they're, for the most part, they're looking to put their head down and rip one from the outside. They've scored a few from there, but, Nick Patterson's a pretty quality goaltender at this level, and I can't see them getting back on top of this game unless they really up their transition game and work a little bit more cohesively on offense.
Well, the North Stars chasing Ryder Johnson from the net. Mason Jacobs taking over on the side of the Six Nations Rebels. We'll be right back with the third period of action here at the Bayshore on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show where my guest will be the Warden of Grey County, Brian Milne. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Welcome to Central Westside United Church.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
Join us next week. Joe Patterson will be here from Grey Roots Museum to talk about summer activities.
Also, Renee from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter will be in with an adoptable animal. Hope you can join us on Grey County Life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center and J.D. MacArthur Arena. Owen Sound North Stars still leading the Six Nations Rebels by 4 goals, a score of 8-4. Owen Sound leading the way in the shots department as well, 40-22 in shots. Now as Elliot Thompson gets ready to take this face-off, and he wins it forward and just can't quite corral that ball, so it's going to be picked up there by Crossley.
No, and that's one part of the Owen Sounds game they're really going to want to fine-tune as they roll towards the playoffs. Elliot Thompson's a real good draw guy, and more often than not, he does get possession to one of his guys, and they're unable to pick it up, and now we got a man down.
And Burning does not look good. He went down and just immediately was stretching in a very, very uncomfortable looking way. So the trainer out here to try to figure out what's going on. Legs are crossed behind him, and I think might have just gotten a stick in the midsection or in the back. I'm not quite sure. He just kind of fell.
Yeah, that almost looks like he, yeah. That was almost a non-contact injury there, so hopefully it's more of a cramp than anything, because yeah, he's a big man, so when he falls, I think even if you're not in the forest, you'll hear the tree go down. So yeah.
Absolutely, and now looks like we got another couple of trainers coming out. Owen Sound North Stars are going to send their trainer out as well here to try to figure out what's going on. He's starting to move around a little bit, sitting up, so this might just be a cramp or something, because he didn't get hit. He just kind of fell straight down to the ground. So we'll try to figure out and deduce what is going on here. And they're asking him a few questions, touching kind of, looks like maybe the shin, maybe a shin splint or cramp around the knee. Not 100% sure, but he is up on his butt now, able to just kind of shake his head a little bit. They're trying to get to the bottom of it. And both teams looking on here, and obviously Six Nations are going to be looking on with quite a bit of concern with this being their leading scorer. And he will make it back up onto his feet, testing out that left leg just a little bit, and doesn't look comfortable yet, but I think he'll be all right. He's able to walk around a bit. And they're going to redo the face-off here. So referee Duffy is called for a redo of the draw. So we'll see if the North Stars have learned a little bit off of Elliot Thompson's draw, that they need to be ready to get that loose ball. And Burning shaking his head a little bit there, it looks like, as he walks to the bench. So he might be done. They're taking him to the bench and not to the room, so that's a positive for him. And I'm just gonna stand off to the side there with Ryder Johnson, who's now on the bench. And now we're gonna get a little bit of a cleanup job there as Tanner Hamill goes out and has to wipe up a little bit of that sweat. So not the most glamorous job, but you know what? You need everybody to make this team work. So thanks to Tanner Hamill for cleaning up the spill. And there goes Elliot Thompson winning that again, this time up in the air and connecting with Ethan Kerr. Calder Adams out to connect with Jackson Ray. Ray able to connect with Jonah Kerr. Jonah Kerr gets around his man. Kerr sends that across the floor. Tyson Morrison doesn't have a lane. Can't connect with Laycock. Morrison in tight. Behind the back. Laycock picks it up. Gets around. Spins. Hard shot. Good save there. Scores! It rolls in. Mason Jacobs. He can't keep control of the ball. Drops it. And it's going to roll over the line. A great shot there. Handcuffing Mason Jacobs by Nate Laycock. We'll take a look at the replay here. We got to see just how this one went in. It looked like it might have been trapped between Jacobs' left arm and his pad, I think, is where this ball ended up. And there he drops it between his legs, and it just rolls right in. So it looked like maybe he had a pin between his knees, and as he got up before the whistle went, and the ball's going to go into the back of the net. Now Ethan Kerr picking this one up. He's going to throw that up the floor, connecting with Jackson Ray. Jackson Ray showing his speed. Now in tight shot. Great save there by Mason Jacobs.
Yeah, another great job in transition to create a scoring opportunity. A big save by Jacobs, but yeah, those are the kind of goals that Owen Sound could really use to take the heat off their offense.
Trace Hill swings that up front. Miller sends that in. Sanderson turns that one away and throws it up the floor. for Carter Moran. Carter Moran carries us into the offensive zone. He's looking at his options. Holden Stevenson trying to send a pick out. Picked up by Jonah Kerr. Hard, high shot, Jonah Kerr scores! What a shot by Jonah Kerr! And now McDonald's gonna get in his face and give him a little piece of his mind. Jonah Kerr's backing away saying, buddy, I already scored. Get to your bench. Look at this high riser.
Nice shot there, and again, got a little bit of help there from Holden Stevenson, just a little brush pick there as he was moving through and created the lane there for Jonah Kerr to get that shot away and found it back in the net. And again, he had a few words for one of the Owen Sound defenders who took displeasure in those words. And Jonah has a bit of a X on his back tonight, so we'll see how they respond later on.
Jordan Cochran sends that up. Jonah Kerr picking it back up, down now for Cochran. Cochran didn't quite get around his guy. Gets that pass off for Tyson Morrison. Now Curtis Arnold trying to create room. Connects with Jonah Kerr. Gets around one. Jonah Kerr gets around two. Shot. Gets that one just up high. Foot in the crease. Which means that call will go in favor of the Rebels as Crossley sends that ball up. And now we've got a fight at the bench as they're going after Jonah Kerr. Will Rowe is getting battled. He can't handle. Now Miller sending in punches. Will Rowe just taking cheap shot after cheap shot. He's got his arm free. He's still going after it. Referees can't pull him off. He's like a rabid cat.
Yeah, you're going to see Jonah Kerr probably get the game expulsion here too. He initiated the contact within the player's box, which is a game misconduct. I'm sure he'll have something to, yeah. Well, if he didn't have his way to the bench now, he is with that little performance. So both guys are probably going to see the gate here, but Jonah Kerr certainly is.
Will Rowe, a few words here for the fans. He's not very happy with what the fans are calling out to him. They're making fun of him, and he just won't stop talking to the fans now. And Will Rowe is going to take a seat there, and I think we can probably tell what the crowd was commenting on. We won't do the same. And he's still challenging the crowd to a fight, so I think he might be getting kicked out here now. Will Rowe still giving it to the fans, and the fans just getting under the skin of Will Rowe. He can't give it up. He just will not stop talking to the fans. He is upset. The fans have, I think, very successfully gotten under the skin of Will Rowe. So Rowe is going to take some time in that box, and hopefully he'll be able to cool down. And seems like he's finally stopped chatting, and now we've got both referees just trying to figure out what to do with this. And I think we saw this coming. We may get another look here at the contact along the bench. I don't know if we had a camera on that at the time. Sounds like we may not have a shot of that, but Steve, you're saying that it looked like Jonah Kerr initiated that contact?
I think he might have got a little push from the back, and then as there was a player crossing through the Owen Sound change box area to get into his own box, he took a shot from Jonah, and then that's when the melee of sorts broke out. So it was no doubt already picked up on by the officials. That's why he's found his way to the dressing room, and I don't know that his antics with dropping the gloves when the two referees are between the two players had anything to do with it, or that might have been just the cherry on top. But nonetheless, likely not going to be even up. At least we might end up with a 5 and a 2 or something of that regard here. All
right, we'll take a look here. I think we do, in fact, have a bit of a replay of this, so you can kind of see here.
There, he did.
Jonah Kerr definitely initiates contact there, going through the change box, and then gets a punch up in the face by Will Rowe. Will Rowe just kind of hanging on. He's not very big, so he's trying to do something. The referee kind of comes in and takes out Will Rowe, and then that whole time, number 12, Trey Miller, just feeding him cross checks.
Yeah, Trey Miller is definitely, looks like he got away with 2 or 3 pretty good licks there, and doesn't look like he's going to be penalized at all. So.
Well, and I think that might be the most surprising thing is, Miller got that stick right up into the back of the neck of Jonah Kerr a couple of times and no call, so we're just getting the calls here. So they're going to be a 2-minute for Jonah Kerr and a 5-minute for Jonah Kerr and a game misconduct for Jonah Kerr. Okay, so
at the end of that, we're going to be, Owen Sound will be shorthanded for 2 minutes.
There we go.
So the difference between Will Rowe's penalty and Jonah Kerr's is if he was, the original 2 minutes happened in the change box area, and so that's what initiated the entire event, and therefore it's the referee's discretion to issue a game misconduct, and they've decided to do so.
So we'll take a look there in the box. It looks like, I'm not sure who we have in the box there for the North Stars at the moment. Number 14. Okay, so new player here, Zach Lemon, hasn't played at the Bayshore yet this year. This will be his first game, and he's going to serve the 2 minutes there for Jonah Kerr, who is now getting showered and getting ready for what he hopes to be a post-game celebration. And I think they're in a pretty good spot right now. You can see clearly hasn't given up his beef with the fans. Will Rowe sitting sideways just to make sure that he can keep an eye on the fans as well that are just eating popcorn right in his face. And you know what? That'll when you've taken a couple licks to the face and you got some guys eating popcorn chirping you, I can see why that might get under your skin. So leading the way here, number 12, Trey Miller, getting away with maybe a call or two here. He'll quarterback this power play for the Six Nations Rebels. And heading out here, looks like Nate Laycock is also going to jump in, and he's going to be serving the 2 minutes. So we'll have, it looks like Zach Lemon is going to serve the 5 minute, and Nate Laycock will serve the 2 minute for Jonah Kerr. Burning sends it up for Miller. Miller back to Burning. Burning looking all right. Takes that shot and goes pretty wide. Now Calvin Stewart, he's battling. He gets his stick knocked away. Chaz Hill able to scoop that back for Miller. Hard shot to the back. Scores! Number 22, Trace Hill. Able to find the back of the net. And that, I think, will release Nate Laycock from this 2 minute. Okay, it looks like Laycock's going to be serving the 5. Zach Lemon serving the 2. He's going to head to the bench, so Laycock will have to stay in there for Jonah Kerr a little bit longer.
Yeah, and a nice pass by Joe Hill there from the shooter spot. Joe Squire from the shooter spot. He's been known to let it rip from there, and he kind of had the Owen Sound defenders watching for his shot, and he was able to little skip pass from the sidearm angle right down to the crease, and scored on the empty net from the side.
Thompson, his bread and butter is right on that dot. Wins that one for the North Stars again. Got a possession call, and now the Six Nations Rebels with possession. Trace Hill sends that in well. Long shot here, turned away by Nick Sanderson. So the North Stars leading by 5 with 16.5 minutes to go in the third period. No lead is ever safe in box lacrosse. Gavin Downs connects there with Logan Plagues. Logan Plagues across the floor. Finds Tyson Morrison. Morrison in tight. Eversloan Wickens can't get that one, but Holden Stevenson's there to pick it up, and unfortunately that spells the end of that attack. Now the Six Nations Rebels carry this into the offensive zone. 5-on-5. Joe Squire sends that low. Miller circles out. Can't quite connect there with Hill. Now Moran's going to pick that up. Slash there by Trace Hill. Moran's going to slow things down and carry it up the floor. Arnold getting attacked. Moran. Thompson in tight, takes that bouncing shot. It's going to go up and wide. Rebels, up the floor they go. In tight. Garlow can't get that towards the net, able to get a pass away. Now Garlow's going to try to get it, and Six Nations shot. Scores! Right out in front, a great goal there, and a little bit of fireworks afterwards as Six Nations score 2 back-to-back goals to make it 6-10. Still in favor of the North Stars.
And again, we've got a situation here where there's no help for the low man. He's able to beat Calvin Stewart underneath, which you can't do as a defender. You got to. So Josh Ricci, 55 here, just takes a step underneath, has enough angle to come back in front of the net, and reaches around Nick Sanderson. And Calvin Stewart has to do a better job moving laterally just to cut that off. You can't get beat underneath or over top. You just want to funnel that back to the help. So he's a good athlete, and I'm sure he'll make the adjustment. But nice individual effort there by Six Nations. Raw man turned offensive weapon.
Pearson's that forward, burning over. Miller down low, in tight, Squire shot, scores!
Again, just a total breakdown of communication here on defense. And they're certainly going to make a game of it. You can't not play cohesive defense against Six Nations here. They have too many guys with skill that can put the ball in the net. But here we see the low man on the other side pay no attention, and you can't give him that kind of time and space. You got to pick up your guy long before he's 10 feet from the net.
North Stars calling a timeout. 3 goals in what seems like less than a minute or two here. Nick Sanderson will take a moment to get some water in him, and he'll be looking for a little bit more support from his defense here.
Yeah, there's a ton of time left here, almost 15 minutes. And, we've seen some runs go either way in a quick succession here. So this is by no means over. And you're going to think that it might have probably been a well-timed called timeout for the Owen Sound bench to sort of get things back on the rails. And hopefully, for their sake anyways, it works to their advantage.
Well, the North Stars looking to turn things around here. A couple of quick goals. And looks like we'll get Elliot Thompson. Well, maybe, yeah, we'll get Elliot Thompson there at the dot. He's going to line up there against Josh Ricci. We've been battling all night there in the dot, and Thompson's going to get the best of him again. Thompson trying to cycle all the way back into his own zone and all the way up and connects with Everslome Wickens. Sloan Wickens gets that in tight for Curtis Arnold. Arnold swings that across the floor. Picked up now by, looks like Logan Cleggs. Cleggs will send that up for Tyson Morrison. Morrison across the floor. Arnold can't pick that one up. Arnold's getting checked behind by Crossley. Arnold around Crossley. Gets that pass up. Cleggs can't handle it. He's going to have to get back. 2 seconds left on the clock. Rolls that in tight. Now the Nations pick that one up, and they're going to head up the floor. Rebels with it. Damon DeCare. Joe Squire. Miller. Miller sends that in low. Now Hill gets in tight. Hard shot. Scores! Trace Miller.
That was almost a repeat of the last goal there. I'm not sure if that's Carter Moran defending down low this time, but just an absolute blow-by by Miller, Trey Miller there. And again, as a defender, when you're the low man, anchor man, you cannot allow a guy to come underneath you. You have very little help down there, not a place for the slide to come, and just a clear lane to the net. We got 88 Cleggs, sort of his back to it. Over there, we've got Ethan Kerr, that was on nobody, and nobody looking to help, and now we've got ourselves a 2-goal game.
Well, just like that, the North Stars were able to score 6 quick goals in the second period, and now 4 quick goals in the third period for the Six Nations Rebels. As the North Stars only have a 2-goal lead, Marcus Talk is going to run that into the zone and send that deep. Curtis Arnold connects with Carter Moran. Carter Moran's been playing both sides of the floor. Tyson Morrison. Moran picks it up. That one's going to bounce up, and now picked up by number 9, Tristan Garlow. He's got a goal already tonight. Garlow's going to carry this in. And he'll send that up and connect with Joe Squire. Squire connecting with Trace Hill. Hill slows things down. Over to Trey Miller. Miller across the floor. Chaz Hill, that long shot goes wide. Now picked up by Joe Squire. Sound battle, and Gavin Downs picks that one up. He's going to try to flip that up the floor. He gets deflected, then picked up again, hit from behind. Now the North Stars trying to get this out of the zone. Carter Moran, 22 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll connect with Elliot Thompson. Elliot Thompson, a big man, protects that ball well. Thompson into the offensive zone. He gets around his man, tries to get in front, hard shot, foot in the crease, and a good save from the 5-hole. Mason Jacobs turning that one away.
I think we're playing on a slanted floor here today because there's been 0 offense for either team down at the south end of the building, and all seems to be coming down at the north end. Owen Sound has mounted 0 this period, and they're hanging on here for dear life.
Now Owen Pryor heading up the floor. Cochran directing traffic. Carter Moran picking up the ball. Carter Moran across the floor, connects there. Hard shot, that one goes high and wide. That's gonna roll all the way back down into the North Star zone. Out of the net comes Nick Sanderson, who picks that one up before McDonald can get to it. He'll send that up and connects with Logan Cleggs. Cleggs sends that long bomb in just past the net, and North Stars will leave that there for the Six Nations Rebels. Getting there first is gonna be Trace Hill. Trace Hill connecting there with Burning, who's looking a little bit better. That left leg looks to be stronger. Miller sends that in tight. Knocked into the net there is Trace Hill, and I think he's going to be all right.
No, he's got a little something that's disturbing him, because the referee again has called for the trainer, and he's still prone on the floor.
Looked like maybe he shook his head a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely, he came to an abrupt stop. He seemed to hit the defender square on the hip, and then kind of bounced off Nick Sanderson, I think. So here we'll see it again.
Take one more look at that. And there, right there. So just a hard hit by Gavin Downs.
Yeah, he might even got clipped with just above the knee and have a bit of a Charlie horse here or something.
Now, I believe this is their second of 3 games this weekend. So they've got a busy weekend ahead of them, and it's possible that just legs are starting to get tired and muscles are starting to cramp. And there you go. 22, Trace Hill. He's going to stand up, and looks like smiles behind that cage. So he probably will be all right. He's going to take a walk over to the bench and maybe grab a seat for a little bit while he starts feeling a little bit better.
Well, it'll be Owen Sound possession, 200 feet from the other goal, and they'll have to see if they can't get their offense back on track. Again, they've been struggling in transition, not getting down the floor with their full complement of offensive players, and it's really hurt their ability to move the ball around and create scoring opportunities.
Thompson gets that low for Carter Moran, who swings out front, sends it across the floor for Tyson Morrison. Morrison gets that one knocked loose. Laycock can't set the pick. Back to Carter Moran. Moran a long shot, and that one almost twists the stick it in, and now you've got a streaking Josh Ricci, who picks up this ball in tight. Josh Ricci shot. Good save, Nick Sanderson.
Yeah, again, it's a transition play. Great pass by the goaltender Jacobs, and even better save by Nick Sanderson.
Morrison sends that across. Curtis Arnold with it. Gets that one picked off. Now on his way is Damon DeCare. He's got speed. Curtis Arnold tries to take him out. DeCare shot foot in the crease, no goal. Sanderson still keeping that ball out of the net anyways. Now Curtis Arnold, he's going to carry this into the offensive zone. Holden Stevenson comes off the bench along with Lone Wickens. That ball gets lobbed all the way over to Carter Moran. Back to Curtis Arnold. Arnold can't quite get in there. He's going to underhand that to Laycock. Back to Moran, hard shot off the knee. Right in front, Stevenson, shot scores! Holden Stevenson strikes for the North Stars in the third period, making it 11-8.
You got to give Holden Stevenson all the credit in the world here on this goal. Not only does he not panic and just make sure he has the handle on this loose ball, but then a nice hard fake to get the goalie to drop. He reaches over top and buries it in the half-open cage, and no panic there at all for a guy that pretty much typically does all the dirty work on the offense, doesn't touch the ball a lot, and nice to see him get rewarded here with his own goal. And really stretch this lead to 3, and with 10 minutes to play, gives him a little bit more breathing room.
Jordan Cochran in the offensive zone. He'll connect there with Everslum Wickens to Tyson Morrison. Morrison gets around his man, tries to get in tight. Back up for Lone Wickens. Down low there, finding Carter Moran. Moran across the floor, shot scores! Tyson Morrison sets the North Stars ahead by 4 with just under 10 minutes to play in the third period.
And again, try not to sound like a broken record. We got some ball movement. We got movement away from the ball there. And again, just a step outside of that restraining line, it probably could be considered a perimeter shot, but because the ball swung from one side to the other, we got the goaltender has to find his bearings. The defense has to switch gears, and he finds the back of the net.
Very calculated face-off dot win there for Elliot Thompson. He wins it directly into his own stick, and a quick little pass over to Calvin Stewart begins the offense here for the Owen Sound North Stars. In tight, Curtis Arnold, he gets turned away. Arnold maintains possession and finds Elliot Thompson. Tyson Morrison with it. He turns off his man. Still with it, slashed in the wrist. He holds onto his wrist, not feeling so good. He's going to send this one in. And they're going to run out of time here. Now the North Stars will bring out their defenders. Marcus Talk out there on defense. Logan Cleggs, Owen Pryor, Gavin Downs out there, as well as Ethan Kerr. Right out in front, Owen Pryor's out of the net now. And they're going to get a possession call. Owen Sound will carry this up. Gavin Downs will connect there with Carter Moran, who carries this into the offensive zone. Moran, the leading scorer for the North Stars. 75 plus points. Hard shot there, Moran looking for his first goal of the day. Moran picks up his own rebound. He's going to reset that clock. North Stars give him a little bit of a cheer. We got 20 seconds left, so they don't need to rush this one. Moran will have plenty of time to go back and get this ball. He'll pick this one up. Still over 10 seconds left in their shot clock, and he's going to connect all the way down there to Elliot Thompson. Takes that shot off the mask. Mason Jacobs turns that one away confidently and flips it up for Rowan Smith, who carries this into the offensive zone. Marcus Talk on Smith. Smith connects with Burning. Talk picks him up. Burning trying to get around Talk. He does. Talk gets a great stick in there and knocks that out of Burning. And a foot in the crease, so Calvin Stewart picks this one up for the Owen Sound North Stars. Curtis Arnold in deep. Holden Stevenson carries this in, sends that over for Carter Moran. Connects there with Lone Wickens. Tyson Morrison trying to set a couple of picks. Curtis Arnold still with it, gets knocked loose by Crossley. Crossley takes a bit of a tumble there. Curtis Arnold picks it back up, back out in front, shot, and can't quite get that one to go. Great work there by Everslum Wickens to get that ball in tight. Now it's carried up and out by Eli Hemelin. Hemelin finds Trace Hill. Trace Hill, he's working the zone. Hill sends that in low. Now Ricci. Ricci hit hard there by Downs. Ricci backhand pass, or a no-look pass rather. A great save Nick Sanderson sent right back in. Sanderson saves that one again in his stick, and he'll send that up for Logan Cleggs. Logan Cleggs will begin the transition here with just under 7 minutes to play in the third period, and a miscommunication. Carter Moran able to scoop that one up. He's going to carry it into the offensive zone anyway. Carter Moran, bounce pass across the floor. Morrison can't get around his man, gets around one, now sends it back. Right in tight. Laycock a stick right up in the neck. No call on the play. Can't quite get that pass back, and they're going to run out of time. Now the North Stars going back on defense. A bit of a scattered offense for the North Stars the last couple of rushes, but they're going to look to try to get some better ball movement and another defensive zone shutdown as Trace Hill sends that over to number 12, Trey Miller. Trey Miller, a hard shot there. We heard from him during the first intermission. They get a lot of games this weekend, now connecting with number 14, Zach Lemon. He'll send that up the floor, knocked loose there by number 22, Trace Hill. Hill on his man, sends that up. North Stars can't get it, and it's going to bounce out of play. So another offensive zone possession error.
Yeah, again, there's just no consistency in their transition game and a lot of errant passes. And, yeah, you need to have a plan. You need to know where you're going to go with the ball. And, you know, again, these are things that can be worked on. Six Nations gives it right back with a bit of maybe a bit of a tough call and a legal pick. It looked like a bit of a flop by the Owen Sound O player, or D player, but nonetheless, the one good thing that Owen Sound has been done outside of their last possession is, even though they haven't been getting any great scoring chances, they have been utilizing the 30-second clock.
Back to Laycock behind the net, sends that out front. Cochran, a hard shot right in the armpit. Can't quite hold that against the body, Mason Jacobs, but there to bail him out is Crossley, and now the Rebels will head this up the floor. McDonald's going to send that off for Wilrow. Wilrow carries this into the offensive zone, connects there with Squire. Squire sends that low. Back up for Squire, connects there with Hill. Hill in tight, and can't quite get that one past Nick Sanderson, but it will go off Sanderson, up out of play. We'll take a moment here to thank Pizza Hut. If you'd like to visit Pizza Hut, you can do so at 669 10th Street West, Owen Sound, Ontario, or call them at 519-371-5660, or visit their website at www.pizzahut.ca. Thank you, Pizza Hut, for your continued support of Rogers TV and your Owen Sound Junior B North Stars. Wilrow sends that shot in and turned away by Nick Sanderson. Now the North Stars will send that across. Zach Lemon connecting with Calvin Stewart. Now Elliot Thompson takes a stick to the back, still maintains possession through that. Holden Stevenson there to bail him out. Thompson going to carry this in. He's got some space. Now he'll look to pass. Still with it. He's going to send that up for Carter Moran. Carter Moran's got room. Long shot there. Goalie saw it the whole way. No trouble there for Mason Jacobs. 4 minutes left to play. Owen Sound leading 12-8. Shots are 51-31 in favor of Owen Sound. They've been throwing lots on net here, already chasing Ryder Johnson. Good save there, Nick Sanderson. Now the North Stars will transition with speed. Jackson Ray, Logan Cleggs. And Jackson Ray's going to go for a quick change. Cleggs is going to get that to Carter Moran. They're going to send that up to Jordan Cochran. Cochran's going to get around his man. Rowan Smith can't hold him. Tyson Morrison along the boards. He's going to flip that up for Laycock. Laycock tries to power by, gets that low, wide shot. And now the North Stars are in a bit of a foot race. Looks like Sanderson's going to stay in his net. Tyson Morrison, unfortunately, can't get there in time. And now Crossley with the ball. Thomas Crossley sends that up the floor. And a hard shot there by Hill. Can't get that one to go. Hill gets his own rebound. Sends that pass in. Great save. Nick Sanderson coming across to deny Joe Squire. Calder Adams. He's going to begin the transition for the North Stars, carrying this up the floor. He's going to connect with Nate Laycock. Laycock, he's going to stick handle and get that down for Curtis Arnold. Arnold gets around one, gets around two, loses the ball in his feet. Can't slow down enough to get it. He's going to take a tumble. Laycock uses that big frame. Arnold in tight, gets that knocked loose by Mason Jacobs. Arnold still with it, 3 seconds left, sends that ball in low off the goalie, and now the Six Nations Rebels will bring this up the floor, led by Damon DeCare. DeCare is going to send that up and connect with Eli Hamler. Connecting with Trace Hill. Trace Hill's got options. Out comes Will Rowe. Will Rowe sends that across the floor. They've got too many men out there. There's Six Nations.
Okay.
Oh, they pulled their goalie. Excuse me. Shot and scores. So Joe Squire confusing myself and able to get past the defense there as Mason Jacobs is makes his way to the bench, and Six Nations players out there.
Yeah, I don't know if the Owen Sound defenders were ready for that either. Didn't hear a lot of hollering from the bench, but it did seem like they were set up in a little zone here. But once again, they allowed the pass to come through to the man on the inside that had better body position, and I think it was Joe Squire.
Yeah, looked like number 7, Joe Squire, was able to put that ball home. Now Thompson will win this back. Filling plenty of time off that clock. A good win for him.
But again, they're not prepared in transition. They gave no outlet to Nick Sanderson. He's going to have to give the ball away.
Sanderson throwing that up. And McDonald carries us back into the offensive zone. North Star's a little bit discombobulated, and now it looks like Mason Jacobs to the bench again. So we're going to get 6 players out. And a little fake ball trick. Hard shot here. Miller can't get that to go. Good block there by Logan Cleggs. Burning sends that low. Trace Hill. Will Rowe with the pick. Back to Burning. Long shot. That one goes wide and up and out of play. So the North Stars will gain possession of this ball. A smart call there by the referee. It was close, but certainly did go wide of the goaltender. Owen Pryor. 23 seconds left on this shot clock. They're going to keep this in the defensive zone as long as they can. Now all the way up the floor. I don't know if they knew that they had another North Star open. Ethan Kerr was open to them, but sending this up the floor anyways. Laycock still with possession of it. He's got 5 seconds left, and I think he'll just hold on to it and throw it behind him. So Laycock battling hard there to give his team every opportunity to win this game. Now 45 seconds, Mason Jacobs goes to the bench. We're gonna get 6 Rebels out there. Sends that up, Hill across, Miller connecting there, Ricci can't quite make that happen. Kerr with some good defense. Now Miller's gonna have to go back and get that loose ball. 10 seconds left on the shot clock, 30 in the game. This ball's going right to the empty net, and just able to get there in time is Trace Hill. Now Marcus Talk on him, tries to run interference. North Stars can't come up with it. Right out in front, backhand pass, Ricci can't get that one to go. The North Stars will gain possession of this with 20 seconds left to play in the game. North Stars just trying to bide their time to walk away with the W. Passes that back door up the floor. And Ethan Kerr, he's going to send that in deep. North Stars just playing keep away. 5 seconds left in this game. North Stars with a big win here at the Bayshore, throwing that deep. And the North Stars with a massive second period win, able to walk away with the 2 points here this afternoon. Plenty of fireworks between both teams. And your North Stars, they're going to celebrate this win. You can see both teams getting ready here for a little bit of handshake action. We'll see just how friendly those handshakes are. I'm sure they'll respect the handshake line. And there goes Mason Jacobs leading the way there for the Six Nations Rebels. He played well. I mean, he came in a tough situation, really did close the door well. I think he may have only let 3 or 4 goals in here, 2 in the, maybe a few more than that, but I think 2 in the second period and 2 or 3 in the third period. So stood tall there. Nick Sanderson, of course, playing well. You could tell still hobbling a little bit there, eh, Steve? I mean,
yeah, we always see him walking from the bench in between the intermissions, that he's got a bit of a limp going on. And but yeah, he certainly doesn't seem to affect his lateral movement within the goal crease itself. But yeah, he does labor a little bit.
Absolutely. You can see both teams here. They're just getting off the floor, and looks like no more fireworks left between these two teams. They understood it stays out on the floor. It's one of those games where, you know, it might be violent, it might be physical, but they understand it's within the confines of the game.
Yeah, that's certainly the way it generally goes.
Well, both teams here, a hard battle. I mean, Six Nations making this a real battle here towards the end of the period. They, of course, cutting the lead down to only 2, and the North Stars able to battle back and win by 3 goals here at the Bayshore. The Junior Bees on a bit of a winning streak at home. They're going to look to continue that, I believe, next week. And later today at 7:30, we have the second home game for the MSL North Stars. That's Senior A Lacrosse, which will be here on Rogers TV, 7:30. Make sure you tune in. Steve and I will bring you all the coverage that you need. Thanks for watching Junior B Lacrosse here on Rogers TV, and we'll be back this evening with some more action.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com. Due to the length of the preceding program, we now join the regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Somebody wants to love and care for these boys that I'm not able to do right now, and I gave up, you know, and my life continued to just spiral and spiral. I ended up moving away from Barrie, where I live, because I thought if I move, then that'll fix me, right? And I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter. My daughter is 10 now. And when I found out that I was pregnant with her, I just stopped. I don't know how, I stopped. And I stopped for a super long time. And like, I am the type of addict that even though I stopped doing, my drug of choice, all of those reasons why I was doing that in the first place were still all inside me. So I was one of those people that I put a smile on my face, but I was dying inside, because at the time I wasn't going to get the proper help. I wasn't going to do the things that I needed to do to be able to heal myself inside, So now take away the drugs, and now I feel like I've failed as a mom, I've failed as a partner, and I did that for several years. I would go to recovery things here and there. I feel like I was not doing it for the right reasons. I was doing it to show face, or to show my family that, hey, and eventually I was able to do that for 8 years. And then I got into a relationship that was a very unhealthy relationship. There was a lot of physical and emotional abuse, and I ended up going back out. And that literally destroyed me, I never thought in my life that I would be a person that relapse would be part of my story. But I come to terms with it that relapse can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter how many days or weeks or years that you have clean, relapse can happen. And if you stop doing certain things, or in my case, not really doing anything, it's bound to happen. And I was in active addiction again for 9 months, and all of those things again, like, you know, the work, like my work was interfering with my drug use, doing fun things with my child was interfering with my drug use, like everything, like it was like I never skipped a beat. Like my addiction picked up where it left off 8 years prior, and like all of the things that I lost back then were starting to happen again. And you know, eventually I looked at myself in the mirror and I was 97 pounds at the time. And what am I doing? Like I was disgusted at the person that was looking back at me. And I decided that it was either, you know, I get clean and sober and I figure this thing out and I really put my 2 feet in to do this, or I'm gonna take my own life because I couldn't live like that anymore. And you know, I called a detox and I got myself into detox, and the detox I got myself into had a treatment center in there, so I was able to stay there for almost a month, and I did it for me, which was a huge thing. You know, I didn't do it for my daughter. You know, in the end, yes, I did it for everyone else, but I was really doing it for myself. And I think that's the hugest thing of why I'm sitting here today, clean and sober, is because I'm continuing to do this for me. And, you know, I got out of that treatment center and, you know, I started going to recovery meetings. I started, you know, associating with people that were sober. You know, I started doing all of the things that I wasn't doing before, you know, and I just started to feel like this little bit of peace. You know, I really started working on myself, and all of those things that I kept in this bottle because I'm a bottler, I started to work on, and I started to get them out, and I started to share them with, you know, another person. And every little bit of stuff I got out of this bottle, I just like felt that, like that little bit of relief and that peace. And you know, my sobriety date is March 4th, 2022. So I just celebrated 2 years. Thank you. And you know, this last 2 years hasn't been easy. I'm not gonna say that. You know, a lot of things have happened, and my closest friend in sobriety, I was about 6 months clean and sober, and I lost him to this disease, and that rocked my world once again. But because I had this foundation that I never had before, I didn't have to go and pick up and use. Because of it, I was able to get through that, and I was able to, you know, continue on doing what I was doing. And like, I very much today live one day at a time. You know, I feel like I can't change yesterday. Tomorrow's not even here yet. So if I can just try to be the best version of myself, and, you know, put my head on my pillow clean and sober today, like I'm good with that. You know, I do a lot of service in the community. I feel like if I don't keep my 2 feet in, and I don't keep recovery at the top of my list, that I will slowly start to lose all those things again. And you know, I've went through a lot in my life, but I feel like now all of that was meant to happen for a reason. And I always say that, you know, if I can tell my story 1,000,000 times or 1,000 times, and it's just that one person that's going through the same thing that I went through, or, you know, they can identify with like those feelings of just like, you know, hating the world and feeling not good enough and like all of that stuff, then it was worth it. You know, my story to me is not an easy one to tell. Who wants to sit here and admit that, you know, they were so consumed that they lost their children because of their addiction? Nobody wants to do that, but it's the reality, you know? It's the reality of what addiction and alcoholism can do to somebody. You know, the things that I did while I was in active addiction, I would never think of doing while I'm clean and sober. You know, and I think that people need to realize that this can happen to anyone. It's not anything that anyone did. It can happen. It's just what you're gonna do, you know, to make sure that it doesn't happen again, or like, what are you gonna do to stay clean and sober today? So, I don't know.
That was you have a very inspiring story. At least I think so, and I know a lot of other people will think that too. Do you have any somewhat related